The United States is currently going through a supply shortage, and this shortage has to do with a specific medical supply. Now, it's because of Hurricane Helene that this medical supply is seeing this shortage, because we produce it right here in the United States, and a company in North Carolina produces this exact product, makes about 60% of the US's supply. So I'm going to break down why this is such a big deal, how this one product can actually save people's lives, and how what's going on currently in Florida with Hurricane Milton is causing a lot of people to panic because of this one thing. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So what is that shortage that we are seeing? Well, I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, you need to understand what is happening. Right now, much of Hurricane Milton's damage was caused by the wind, okay, not water. However, experts say that things could actually get worse. Now, why is this important? Well, it's important because of this. Hurricane Helene causes a dire IV fluid shortage at hospitals nationwide. It's not just isolated to the East Coast. It's not just isolated to North Carolina. It's because Baxter International in North Cove, North Carolina produces 60% of America's IV fluid supply. That's why it's such a big deal. And again, IVs, this is an intravenous fluid. Okay, these are used to treat if you're dehydrated, right? Some people get these when they have injuries. This provides your body with essential nutrients, and it's important. You need it. Now, I want to read a little bit of this article. Okay, look at this right here. It says, even as Floridians cope with Hurricane Milton, the aftermath of Hurricane Helene continues to affect the U.S. Now, I said this in the very beginning that what happens here on the East Coast is not something that will be isolated to the East Coast. It's going to impact everybody across the U.S. I said this was going to be the case for gas prices. I said it's going to be the case in the future for insurance premiums. And now we're learning that, yes, this is actually causing hospitals to panic. And now they're trying to hoard their IVs. So look at this. It says, among those feeling the aftershock, hospitals around the U.S. have reported a shortage of IV fluid. Baxter International, an IV fluid manufacturer plant in North Carolina, was hit particularly hard by the hurricane, causing its supply to be damaged by flooding. Again, I said this was going to happen, that we are going to see products damaged in the area. We haven't even been able to determine how much damage was caused in Florida because of Hurricane Milton yet. We are still trying to determine the damage from Hurricane Helene. So with that said, now we're hearing that these hospitals are trying to get IV fluid from any hospital, any clinic, any way that they can get it. But now hospitals all over the United States are trying to hoard the IV fluids simply because there's a shortage there. Again, people need IVs. If they end up in the hospital, usually the first thing that they get is an IV. It gets put into their arm so that they are getting the proper nutrients that they need. For some people, they're just dehydrated. Others, it's a critical injury, and they need this IV to hopefully get better faster. If they don't have it, well, some people could lose their life. Now, look at this number right here. It says the plant produces 60% of America's IV fluid supply at 1.5 million bags daily, according to the company. Now, this is a lot, 60%. It doesn't mean that they're the only ones out there producing this, but there are the biggest manufacturer of the IV fluid. So we need them to keep producing. The problem is it could potentially be weeks or months before they are back on track. Now, let's keep reading it. It says various hospitals have already felt the impact, according to the report by Fox Business. It says this includes Mass General Brigham in Boston, which is covering its conserving its fluid supply, and UVA Hospital, which is postponing some elective and non-threatening life surgeries or non-life-threatening surgeries. Again, we see this all the time. Whenever there's a shortage, whenever there's any issue, they postpone all the elective surgeries. That's what they have to do. The concern is, what if postponing elective surgeries is not enough? What if there's so much, so many people becoming injured? What happens then? What do we do? Do we continue to ration IV fluid? Do we try to speed up the process? Do we order from somewhere else? What do we do? Right now, there's not a lot of options, but they're looking into it. It says right here, hospitals have noted that they have received less than half of the IV fluid they get in their shipments. Half. Okay? That's a huge, huge loss. It says Baxter International announced in a Monday statement that several of its global plants are scaling and ramping production to help meet U.S. needs. We expect to receive product from these sources throughout the month of October. Like I said, they are potentially weeks, if not a month behind. So right now, if you know anybody that is a risk taker, according to one report that I read, do not do anything that is too dangerous. Okay? Don't go and get yourself sick. Right? Try to stay as healthy as possible. Well, it's easier said than done, but that is what they're saying right now. So again, this could come at the end of October. Look at this. It says, as of Wednesday, so 2 days ago, the company announced its goal to restore North Cove production in phases and return to 90% to 100% allocation by the end of 2024. So again, we still have like a month and a half, 2 months until we get there. Hopefully people can withstand that for that long. It says the American Hospital Association sent a letter to the Biden administration on October 7th requesting a declaration of the shortage and asking to invoke the Defense Production Act. The AHA strongly urges the administration to take immediate action to increase the supply of IV solutions for the nation's hospital, health systems, and other healthcare providers that are already struggling to provide care. Okay. Now, whether or not this is going to happen, we don't know. All we know right now is that, yes, there is a shortage of IV fluid, and right now, this company is trying to do whatever they can to get back on track and produce at 100% capacity. So, we'll see what happens, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.